Alexa Bliss and Ryan Cabrera get engaged over the weekend. In a Sportskeeda exclusive, Seth Rollins calls The Undertaker the godfather of WWE, and AEW is set to debut their documentary this week. Hello everyone, Jose G here, bringing you today's top 5 stories in today's Sportskeeda News Update. Alexa Bliss and Ryan Cabrera get engaged. WWE superstar Alexa Bliss recently got engaged to her boyfriend Ryan Cabrera. The singer-songwriter had posted an Instagram story which featured the moment Cabrera got down on his knee to propose to Bliss. Shortly after, Alexa Bliss had posted the same on her Twitter and sent a heartfelt message to Cabrera. Cabrera recently posted a video clip that shows him proposing to Alexa Bliss, who can be seen getting overwhelmed with emotion upon learning that Cabrera is about to propose. Bliss shared another clip that was taken moments after the proposal, and it can be checked out on her Instagram story. Bliss and Cabrera began dating soon after a fan spread the rumor that the duo was seeing each other. Bliss shared the hilarious story on the Bella Twins podcast. Alexa Bliss also made it known that her relationship with Cabrera is the first one she has had, which didn't have insecurities and trust issues, saying, quote, "What's crazy about Ryan is this is the first relationship I've never had trust issues and insecurities, because there's something about someone who tells you they are going to make you the happiest girl in the world and then actually does that. He literally breaks his back for my happiness," end quote. The entire Sportskeeda community wishes the very best to Alexa Bliss and Ryan Cabrera on their engagement. Sheamus to be featured in WWE Studios' next film to be released next week. The next WWE Studios film, The Buddy Games, will be released next week, November 24th, on digital and video on demand. The comedy film features Sheamus and is directed by actor Josh Duhamel, featuring Dan Bacadel, Josh Duhamel, Kevin Dillon, Olivia Munn, James Rode, Nick Swartzen, and Neil McDonough are also featured in the film. After a falling out, 6 lifelong friends reunite to play the Buddy Games, an insane competition filled with absurd physical and mental challenges. Now all bets are off as the determined pals fight, claw, and party for the chance to win $150,000. Seth Rollins calls The Undertaker the godfather of WWE. The Undertaker is set to complete 30 years in WWE at this month's Survivor Series pay-per-view, and WWE is going to honor the Phenom in a grand way. WWE are going to celebrate The Undertaker's legacy with a final farewell to the Phenom at the pay-per-view. Former WWE Champion Seth Rollins was recently interviewed by Sportskeeda, where he revealed that The Undertaker means to him and why he is the godfather of WWE. Here's what the SmackDown Savior had to say to us here at Sportskeeda.
Undertaker is like the godfather of WWE. You know, when I first came up onto the main roster in 2012, he was still working a fairly limited schedule at that point, but anytime he was around, there was just like a different feeling, an aura in the locker room, in the arena, in the trainer's room. Every time you would have a conversation with him, you didn't want to skip any words that he said because you were afraid you might lose something there. You know, he's one of those people where everything about him just feels special. Everything about him just feels important. And he was one of those guys that I was fortunate enough to get in the ring with a very short period of time in a 6-man tag team match one random Monday night. But learned so much from being in there with him and then talking to him after the fact and seeing how he approaches every little thing that he does. And that's stuff that, you know, that's invaluable.
AEW documentary set to debut this week. A new documentary on All Elite Wrestling will be coming later this week. AEW tweeted out the following yesterday, revealing that they have teamed up with Director X to air The History of a Revolution. Director X has worked with Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, Korn, Rihanna, and others. The documentary will air on November 18th, but there's no word if it will air on TNT or will be released on its own. Kurt Angle discusses what pro wrestling needs to attract a bigger fan base. Kurt Angle has commented on how the pro wrestling industry can attract a larger fan base while talking to Michael Morales Torres from Lucha Libre Online. Angle feels that one of the ways to do this is by allowing wrestlers to use more of their own direction. saying, quote, "I think we should give the wrestlers more of their own direction. I think things are so scripted now and plan well ahead of time. both verbally and wrestling-wise. The art of pro wrestling is the improvised and the feel the crowd and make the matches make sense and have psychology. Right now it's more of a high-action movie, and it's not so bad. Kurt Angle himself had to get used to working with the script, so it should come as no surprise that he feels like the pro wrestling industry would benefit from wrestlers working on their own tune. However, it took Kurt Angle a whole year before WWE decided that he was ready for his TV debut, so who is to say whether he is right? Continuing on the lines of what would be good for the pro wrestling industry, Kurt Angle also claimed that he understood how the business worked. He claimed that the money in the professional wrestling has stemmed from its young fan base and quality programming. However, he still feels that wrestlers should be allowed to have more control over what they do in the ring. Thanks for watching today's Sportskeeda news update. Follow us on all of our social media. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app from the App Store for the most up-to-date news stories in the world of wrestling.